Okay, I was thinking, my second video, what should I talk about? And I decided to talk about one of the most important figures in the Russian-Ukraine war. Just because this guy is about to be on the news, and not just, Russian-Ukrainian news, but also I think he will make the Western media, including Al Jazeera and one of those channels. Because this is the guy who self-declared that he is the one who pulled the trigger of Russian-Ukraine war. Igor Girkin, or Strelkov as his pseudonym. If you go and put his name in the YouTube, there's gonna be videos upon the videos upon the videos, and they will be, I don't know, millions of those videos there, because he is the integral part. However, when asking my peers when I was still in the army, or anybody at the barbecue, I'm talking to my American friends and asking them, even those who follow Russia-Ukraine war, asking them about Girkin. People don't know him, and if they do, they kind of like just heard about him, but not really that much. They know who is Kadyrov, they know who Prigozhin was, they know like those Putin's cronies that on American TVs and news channels and all that. But this guy is not. However, this guy is probably more important than anybody else. So here he says, matter of fact, let's listen to it just for a little bit. After we watch commercial, probably.
Некоторые интернет-издания приписывают вам следующие слова, которым вы охарактеризовали конфликт на Украине.
So he says there are some news outlets that quoting you, saying that what you characterized the war in Ukraine as.
Крючок войны все-таки нажал я. Если бы наш отряд не перешел границу, в итоге все бы кончилось как в Харькове, как в Одессе. Было бы несколько десятков убитых, обожженных, арестованных.
If my platoon, he calls it platoon, but there was like 50 people, so more like a half a company, I guess. If my platoon didn't move to Slaviansk after Crimea, then everything would be over the same way it was over in Kharkiv, like it was over in Odessa, so everything would be over in Donbass. So yes, technically the trigger in war, in Ukrainian war, was pulled by me.
Это мои слова, я их сказал Проханову еще в 2014 году, да?
He said, yes, these are my words, and I said that to Prokhanov. Prokhanov is an ideologue. He's the guy who kind of behind this whole Russian world ideology, which we can talk about in a different video, but...
В принципе, в них содержится правда.
And he said that is a truth. That's not just some kind of a phrase that I said. I only say the things that I consider to be the truth.
Действительно, если бы
Look at this unassuming dude, right? I mean, he is a ex FSB colonel. FSB is like, it's a long story, but it's almost like FBI and CIA all together. So maybe it's a subject of different video. I have a diploma right there, master's diploma in Homeland Security. So I would say it's like, if you would translate it, it would be a Homeland Security for Russia, but it's not. It's completely different. It's almost like a DNI, Department of National Intelligence, where all the other agencies are under, but there's no other agencies under. So different video, okay? But anyway, he was a colonel in the FSB. He fought in Transnistria when Transnistria was fighting for Russia and for Soviet Union. He fought in Chechenian war, and here's he saying, if I didn't go to Donbass and became this the core of this whole movement against Ukraine, then everything would be just stumped by Ukrainian army. And it's truth, because we can talk about it later.
Sweetwater is your one-stop
now
shop
we're
for
watching
all
the
your band
commercial.
orchestra gear needs.
But anyway, so this guy, he's in prison right now. He's in jail right now, waiting to be put in prison. However, he is, tell me if he's smart, while in jail, the only chance for him to get out is stop criticizing Putin, declare his fealty to the guy, and said that Putin is right and I was wrong, right? But no, he goes even further. So he declares that he will be running against Putin in this coming up election. Everybody knows that there's no elections. Everybody knows that Putin already knows exactly how many percents he's gonna get. Either he wants 86 or 90. That's what he thinks, which number he wants to be put on TV screens. But he already knows exactly how he's gonna win this. And it's not because people will go vote, right? It's because that's how it's done in Russia. However, Girkin probably thinks that he has some kind of a popular movement behind him or something like that he will get people together and throw some kind of a monkey wrench in this whole election thing. But anyway, what they saying, why he's in prison right now. He's in prison right now because he criticized Putin a lot. For the last 10 years, he criticized him, and one of the biggest criticisms is that he did not move his troops in 2014. He didn't do the same thing that he did in 2022. He didn't do it in 2014 because in 2014 that would actually succeed. And I tend to agree with it. Ukrainians would not show the resistance like they showed in 2022 after being at war with Russia since 2014. And it was a proxy war, and we can talk about it later. But anyway, he is being put in prison right now is because he criticized Kabayeva. Who's Kabayeva? You ask. I'll show you. Kabayeva is Putin's lover. She used to be a gymnast. I actually watched her back when I lived in Ukraine, I think, because, you know, she's kind of was gold medalist, blah, blah, blah. Super flexible. One of the most flexible gymnasts ever. And after she became whatever, gold medalist, I guess she went to Kremlin for the presidential awards and blah, blah, blah. And since then, the romance started. Putin divorced his wife. And, you know, supposedly she even have some Putin kids and all that. But her life is a top secret. So on the news, she Putin put her in as a senator or one of the congresswomen, whatever. But she runs like the whole Russian gymnastics, so favorite. Basically, she has everything that there is to have from being part of Russian government. So all the oligarchs and all that. So one of the most powerful women, so to say, in Russia right now. But she is off limits. There's no criticism in any news or anything. The only way they can talk about her is to praise what she does for gymnastics, praise what she does for her charities, and of course, you know, people who steal so much money that they have to do charities. And you can tell she's a billionaire. Of course, they're not saying that she's a billionaire, but what they're saying is that her mom is a billionaire. It's because that's how it works in Russia. So Girkin criticized her, and he did it super like weird, right? So he said Putin is spineless, that's it, Russia is done, Russia is doomed, and we don't even have a hope for Kabayeva, because back in Russian Empire, the Empress Catherine, at least she had the lovers that were smarter than her. She was stupid, she was not a great politician, but she had all those lovers around her that were making the great decisions to move Russian Empire forward. And he said that, saying that Kabayeva is still stupid, so she cannot influence Putin into making the good decisions. A couple days after that, he is in jail for discrediting the Russian army. So everything that he was saying is just kind of like, it was in a file somewhere, and they just kind of, okay, guy, let's go. So, you know what? We will talk about Girkin a lot more, because that's the guy that we can talk forever. And since my channel is just starting, for some reason they don't allow me to put more than 15-minute video, and we can talk about him for hours and hours and hours. Let's do this. You'll all two of you who actually subscribe to the channel, not from me asking my guitar guys to come and help out the channel, but actually subscribe for this stuff, then put me some comment and say, yeah, let's talk about this guy a little more. And then we'll talk about this guy. This is the guy who is a Russian Orthodox billionaire. Orthodox billionaire meaning Russian Orthodox Church guy. So he's super religious, blah blah blah, and he sponsored Girkin for that war. So there's a lot of interesting people to talk about it, and I just trying to get my feet wet on this whole English speaking channel on this subject. So need a lot of help from you, feedback, to see where should I concentrate more in this. And of course I'll continue working on major videos, almost like, with all the pictures, all the dates and blah blah blah, but that takes a little longer than just this videos. But I wanted to introduce the Girkin to you all because of, like I said, he will hit the news here in the next 10 days or so. I think it's December 17th. I think that's when he's getting tried. It's going to be closed hearing and everything. It's going to be, Russia will try to subdue it as much as possible, but that's why we need to be talking about it. So thanks for watching, and like, subscribe, all that YouTube spiel. I'll see you in the next one.